Today is a very, very dark day. A very infamous day. A day that I do not like thinking about because it only reminds me of how single I am. The day I am referring to, of course, is Valentine's Day. That day. But anyway, what's up you guys? Chet Guthrie with What the Chet here, coming to you all from Dream Poet Media Studios. Yes, you guys, this is where I film for DPM Gaming here at What the Chet, and sometimes occasionally Dream Poet, my main channel. But anyway, you guys, as of the recording of this video and the day that it falls under, I figured I would do something very special for this Valentine's Day. Even though I'm about ready for it to pass just as soon as it came. Yeah, I don't like it. But you guys, I figured, you know what? Because of this day, there are quite a few stories that I want to share with you guys. Those are the worst, well, maybe not so much the worst, maybe the most humorous, the most out of the way, the most zany Valentine's Day experiences I've ever had.
Things are gonna get crazy.
Not really so much worse, like I said, but just some that makes you question the existence of humanity and where we're headed. I've got a few of them. And it kind of seems like you guys really like these kind of stories, so I'll keep up with it. But I figured the best way to start this story is one that is perhaps the saddest one of them all. And how it started, like any other, February 14th. It was February 14th, 2018. I was a University of Tennessee student. Well, I was on this project called the library that Dolly Parton built, and it was an all-encompassing documentary surrounding Dolly Parton and her 100 millionth book in the imagination library of hers. Well, I was a part of this documentary group, and there were a group of people that were coming in. They were from the Braille, or what do you call it, Braille books. Anyway, super nice people. They did a lot of Braille. They did Braille for children, allowing children who are blind to read, you know, with the touching of Braille and whatnot. Well, it was my first time being in this group, and I wanted to take some notes, and I wanted to make a name for myself. However, as I sat there in the library at the University of Tennessee's agricultural campus, I realized I did not have any money. Now, this will play a major part or a major role into the rest of the story. Anyway, they were meeting at a very, very nice restaurant not far from the University of Tennessee campus, and they were going to discuss how they were going to do things in the documentary and how everything was going to play out. So what I did is I messaged the closest person that I knew within that group. Her name was Abby, super nice person. And I tell her, hey, I drove up here, I left my wallet, and my wallet's back in Cleveland, Tennessee, an hour and a half. It was a bit of a white lie, because really, like I said, it's your first time meeting, and you really want to create a reputation, create friendships, establish friendships. So Abby said, yeah, you know, everything will be all right. I told her, you know, I just want a drink. I don't have my wallet on me. I didn't tell them that I just straight up didn't have any money. So we got to the restaurant. We all sat down, and during the entire meal, they all ate. Everybody was having fun. I was taking my notes, getting what I needed to get done. And probably the biggest thing that is kind of the most interesting thing is the guys who had come down from Kentucky to talk about Braille books in the documentary and how they would be involved they said, you know what? We'll pay for it.
You took my only food. Now I'm gonna starve.
A little bit of me died inside because I thought we had to pay for it. And on top of that, the head professor that was over this entire project, he's like, yeah, I was going to tell you I'm going to pay for it. And I mean, my February 14th, my Valentine's Day up to that point was not going well anyway. And that just made it worse. So they leave. We set up a time to further build on this meeting and to film the documentary. And I am out there talking to everyone. And Abby says, I feel so bad for you. You didn't get to eat, and we ate right in front of you. And I just feel like crap. I wish Abby had known me way back prior to then, because that is just a walk in the park compared to the things at that time that I had been through. Like, for example, I've told you all about some of the stories about how the time that I almost froze to death because the secretary of the wood chopping club gave me a summer bag and almost froze to death. That was one of those times. So simply, losing out on a $20 meal, apparently I mean, there could be worse things in the world, but I didn't tell her that. And honestly, this kind of messed with her for a bit because 2021, I got like $20 from her via Venmo. And apparently she had held on to what had happened for so long. Yeah. But it only continued from there. You see, at the University of Tennessee, they also have these dining dollars or meal plan. I mean, I guess they have it at every university. So I went, my meal time had come up. So I went and I ate. It was called a place called Raising Cane's. And, well, the only places that they had open were kind of like it's not really a bar, but it's like, I guess it'd be like kind of like a bar sitting area, not like for drinking or anything. But anyway, I sat there by myself looking at a blank wall. Well, I mean, I think I probably watched like maybe 10, 15 couples eating, just doing something simple, not doing anything like terribly big, just kind of keeping it an easy February 14th. And that just killed me a little bit more. Imagine sitting looking at a blank wall while everyone around you, their couples, their significant others, they're eating with them. And it makes you despise the holiday just a little bit more. Yeah. And really, no one at that time had wished me a happy Valentine's Day. And this didn't bother me until, of all things, I'm sitting there in my dorm bed, and it's just like, nobody wished me a happy Valentine's Day. That was the cruddiest Valentine's Day I've ever had. But I figured, since this is a horrible, awful, god-awful holiday, I'll tell you all another story. This happened Valentine's Day of 2015. And I remember this one very well. But, as I said, it was February 14th, 2015. Around this time, I was very much interested in a girl. Well, we'll call her Lorraine. How about that? I'll keep her main name secure, that way respect is there. But anyway, I had an interest in Lorraine, And Lorraine, I really liked her. I liked her probably since probably before I moved up to UT. And I'd texted her a few times. We had gone out and eaten lunch, dinner a couple of times, and I brought her food. And I thought, maybe things were going to grow from that. So I figured I'd take the next move. February 13th, the day before Valentine's Day, you had Winter Jam that came to the University of Tennessee, Thompson Bowling Arena, and Lorraine's favorite band, Skillet, was there. And I figured, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to spend $10 and I'm going to buy the latest album. I'm going to have them sign it. And that's what I did. Sat through the entire concert, had a lot of fun, sat with my friends Bruce and Denzel, Galen, Cameron, all of my friends that I still keep up with from college. And anyway, after the show, I waited an additional hour and a half in line, talked to John Cooper, got him to sign not only the CD, I also got him to sign the booklet. I gave the booklet to my friend Denzel. I gave the booklet to my friend Denzel. And I thought, you know what? This would be an absolute perfect gift for Lorraine. So I kept it. I thought I would make it a surprise. I regrettably had looked up on what some women like in the dating scene and what could make them potentially more attracted in you. And one of those things was giving a surprise. Making a surprise of things. Or as I tried pulling this off, she only got creeped out. Further and further, I told her it was something very special, and then I finally just had to break it to her to make sure that, she didn't think I was a creep or something. And she was really happy. And that night, I tried talking to her. I tried telling her, hey, are you doing anything for Valentine's Day? And she didn't. She said no, already had plans. And anyway, then I think she said something to the effect that she knew where this was going. And I told her to please give me a chance. My feelings, goes deeper than you know. And then she would never talk to me. Every experience after that, she always had this disgusted or creeped out look. And that really weighed in on my conscience and my self-esteem. And that bottled up within me till the next, well, actually I wouldn't say the next Valentine's Day after that. It was kind of the late January. I kind of blew up on her, and yeah, thanks. That was not a good time. This is why I hate Valentine's Day. It's because every time every time this holiday happens, it always seems like something bad goes wrong or something bad happens. And it makes me not want to have any ties with the holiday. But those are some of the biggest stories that has happened to me. I thought I'd keep it simple tonight. Since it is Valentine's Day, why not keep it special? Yeah, no. No, this is no bueno. No. But anyway, guys, remember, don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell icon. Always means a lot. Goes to show that y'all care. Means that y'all want to see more content. And just remember, this is just my opinion on this holiday. I don't like it. Never have. And it's been about 11 years since I've even celebrated it. So anyway, I love you all very much. Till we meet again in the next What the Chet vlog. This What the Chet video is over.